Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, I am Lovelywholesale. My channel is fashion, beauty, lifestyle, mixed with story times, dating, horror stories. So of course, if I have multiples of dating stories, then I can actually help you out so that you don't have to go through what I went through. So stick around to see dating trends you absolutely should avoid. Okay, so we're gonna start out with the most common. We've all heard the term, we've all seen someone go through it, or we've gone through it ourselves, and it's ghosting. So for those of you who are not familiar with the term, to ghost someone is basically when you've been talking with someone, dealing with someone, they have no inclination that you're not interested or that anything is going on with you, and then you just suddenly disappear. You stop responding to text messages, you stop responding to calls, you literally just disappear off the face of the earth. Now, this is a common move by people when they're no longer interested in somebody, or if they kind of never were interested in someone. So they'll engage with you, they'll, say, hey, hit me up, or, I really like you, I'm really feeling your vibe, and you'll be like, oh, okay, things are going well, then bam, gone. Okay, ghosting is one of the oldest forms of dating trends. However, I have to say, in my opinion, it is not the boldest. It is probably the cowardly trend, the most cowardly one you will see, because it's no responsibility in ghosting. You never talk to the person again. You don't have to have any awkward conversations. You don't have to necessarily worry about them, unless you guys have mutual friends, ever hearing or seeing from them again. So it's just like you just vanish into thin air. So always know that if you are dealing with someone who does ghost, that is not the same as the next one I'm going to be discussing, which is dating trend number 2, which is zombies. Now, we all know that I have done a dating horror story where I myself had a zombie. So to clarify what the difference is between a zombie and a ghost just disappears. But the zombie, this is the boldest of all the dating trends, because the zombie has the audacity to actually pop back up after ghosting. Not even technically ghosting, they disappear and then poof, they're back. And that's when you'll get a, hey stranger, text when winter's approaching. Don't fall for the zombie, because that is what they're gonna do. They're gonna keep disappearing, then resurrecting themselves. Disappearing, then resurrecting themselves. They have no intentions of staying permanent in your life. You provide something to them temporarily. So they tap into you to get that temporary need, whether it be sexual, whether it be mental, whether you guys travel and have fun together. But when they don't need that aspect of their life, they disappear. So you get nothing out of a relationship like that. You get nothing but wasted time, because every time that person resurrects themselves, if you do in fact date them or go out with them, you're actually taking yourself off the market for someone who could be better for you or who would appreciate your time a whole lot more. So like I said, in my opinion, the zombie is the boldest, because they have the audacity to disappear and then come back. And it's like, boo, it's not that deep. Just be real. Just be real. Okay? Now, in moving with the dating trends, it can get confusing, because you're like, okay, I think I have a zombie. Do you have a zombie, or do you have the ultimate threat to your heart and your mental health, which is disappearing? Oh, let me tell you, disappearing acts is different from a zombie in that this person, you actually have a relationship with them. You actually are under the impression that things are going well, that you are the one and only, and then poof, be gone, they're gone. But the bad thing about a person who's into the disappearing act is that they know that you expect it. It's almost like an unspoken rule that, hey, I'm gonna disappear occasionally, but it's okay because you accept that from me. Oh, it's very dangerous. Oh, it's very dangerous. And a lot of people do this when they have somebody that they've been dealing with for years and they just can't let them go. So they commit to them, they tell them that they're their one and only, yet they step back and live their life and do all the things they want to do, and then they come back and they're like, well, that's just what I do. I be busy, or, I'm starting my business. A zombie is fun and games, and somebody that you tell your homegirls to, somebody that you block, somebody that you say, can you believe so-and-so hit me up again? Disappearing acts is emotional and mental abuse. Now, I had to get serious on y'all, but that is a serious dating trend that you absolutely need to avoid. It happens with men, it happens with women, it's all across the board. All right, guys, so this next one, benching.
Strike three, you're out.
Benching someone. Benching someone is basically, and I have to be completely honest with you, I think women, we bench, okay? We bench a lot. Men do too, don't get me wrong. Men and women bench. But I feel like women, we have an art to our benching, okay? And we do it in a way that most of the time a man doesn't even know he's being benched. Whereas when a man does it, your homegirl will be like, girl, you getting benched. Like, he has a whole nother situation to the side. Like, but women, I'm letting the secret out. We're the ultimate benchers. So to clarify what that is, it's when you don't plan dates, but you continue to text, DM, maybe even FaceTime. You may even tell this person about your day, problems, promotions at work, but you've never really just been like, let's go have lunch. You've never invited them over for a Netflix and chill. It's somebody that you're kind of putting on the bench, keeping them there because you like almost everything about them, but you haven't tagged them in yet. Now, that's not to say that you won't ever tag them in, but it's almost like a maybe pile. And I feel like it's a coping mechanism so that you can make sure that you don't enter into something that you don't want to be in. In most cases, women do that when they're a little bit iffy. But yeah, the bench is real. And some people will have a starting lineup, okay? Do you hear me? Some people will have a starting lineup and never tag them in. So if you are currently being benched, it's not the worst thing in the world because people have been called from the bench and brought into the game. But just know that you're there for a reason. So you need to either consider your relationship with that person, what you bring to the table, and are they bringing any value to you? Because if they're not bringing value to you, then what's the point? I don't want to be on your bench because I don't want to play your game, right? Okay, and the last one. This last one I'm going to have to give to the men. I'm absolutely going to have to give it to the men because it is their thing. We may bench, but they definitely do this one. Breadcrumbing. Have you ever read or heard the story of Hansel and Gretel? If so, then you're very familiar with the fact that they left a trail of breadcrumbs so that they would be able to get back home and wouldn't be lost in the forest. So in the dating world, the trend of breadcrumbing is when you run into someone who just sends random messages to you, never really saying that they necessarily like you, that they don't like you, that they're interested in dating you. They say things like, oh, we should go have a drink sometime, but everything is real surface level. And you may not hear from them for a while, but they always tap in occasionally, and they're just like, how have things been going with you? Nice pic. Wow, girl, you be killing them. Or, you know you fine, right? They're breadcrumbing you. Basically, they're not trying to break communication with you because you may be a possibility. So they want you to feel like they've always been around. They've always been there. They've always been messaging you. Yeah, you guys may not have hung out or kicked it, but they've always been your friend, right? They're breadcrumbing you. They're leaving a trail so they can come back to you in the future if they're interested. Set them breadcrumbs on fire. Don't let nobody do you like that. Either you're in or you're out. Either you want to date me to feel like you're interested or you don't. So those are the main trends that I feel like you should look out for when dating. They're very typical, and it may take you some time to even realize like that's what's happening. But always be on your P's and Q's, people. Stay safe out there, and just know that I will never zombie you guys. Well, that's all I have for you today. Make sure to comment down below if you have encountered any of these scenarios, or let me know if there's one that you think I should have added to this equation. Now, I do have one that I was going to mention in this one, but it involves, it's unpopular opinion, put it that way. And it also is a future dating horror story. So I will save that one for later, but I want to see if anybody mentions that type of trend down in the comments. So if you enjoyed this video, if you thought it was beneficial, funny, completely wrong, whatever, just let me know. Leave a comment. Don't forget to like, or dislike the video, whatever floats your boat. And if you are not subscribed to me, hopefully you will be now. Go ahead and turn that red subscribe to a gray subscribe, and turn on the bell notification so that you can be notified every time I upload a video. And as always, love ya, mean it, bye.